Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Like I really can't tell you what I did at work today or last week, but I can tell you shit from my future.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Don't try it till you've had it. This is episode 71 of the Friends and Rivals podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Master of the Draft Lottery, Stephen Wojtowicz.
Master at how to fix it.
It's Quagmire. Giggity.
Spoiler
Nick,
alert.
looking for a coach for our team, Loretta.
Wow. We're going to go jump right into the, what segment is that? Ride on the Metro? We're going to ride the Metro. Ride the Metro.
Is this your agenda?
Yeah. I actually wrote this. I actually wrote everything that was in there. So the Rangers and Penguins.
Excuse me.
Is going, yeah. What's going on?
You want to do it again?
Why?
Do it again?
No, we don't fucking redo anything. It's fucking.
What did you miss?
Show.
Brought to you by.
Oh shit!
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna have to
Phil.
do it again. We're gonna take a ride on the Metro. Brought to you by Nestle Quick. Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink, then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
Sorry, my bad. It's only the 20th time I've done that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, now we can go to Rangers Pens now. Rangers Penguins. When we last left you, we were end of the first overtime or into the second overtime, something like that. And
that game is still going.
And unfortunately, that game ended badly for the Rangers. They lose that game in overtime 4-3. Game two, they have a monster comeback. Beat the Penguins 5-2 on home ice, and then they go to Pittsburgh, and that's where it all falls apart. But before we get to Pittsburgh, the Filipino goal. I want to start there. The Filipino goal, in my opinion, should have been a goal. It was disallowed because of Capo Caco. Let's cue that up. No, that's that one. Here you go.
Ryan Turlin can't hold it at the line. Capo Caco coming into the net, crashing through the crease, wide open, scores.
Now they're saying that Capo Capo ran over Casey DeSmith and got called for goalie interference, which there wasn't a penalty on the play, was there? There wasn't a penalty for goaltender interference either, which is, we've talked many times about that. But before we get into this goal any further, Kako drove to the net earlier in the year against the New Jersey Devils. He drove hard to the net and ran over whoever the fuck New Jersey had in goal that night.
Who knows these,
And there was an abundance of contact unprovoked, and that was called a goal. Here it is.
Graves was stopped by Capo Caco. Caco moves in to Strome to Caco to the net. What a goal!
There was more contact on that goal, unprovoked, than there was in the Filipino goal against the Penguins, where you can make the argument that Matheson or whoever that was pushed Kako into Casey DeSmith.
Yeah.
There
I mean,
is
it's
a point here where hold on, Nick, save that.
I'm saving it. I'm not breathing.
Let me see. Okay, kind of right there. You can see right now that the right shoulder is lowered into between the numbers of Kako trying to cut across.
Into the net. Crashing through the crease.
Number 8 is Dumoulin. Bill.
Dumoulin, yep. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. So Kako not thinking he did anything wrong because that play earlier in the year is a good goal. You're telling the player that that is a good goal at the beginning of the year. Why is it different come playoffs? When Kako was unprovoked against the Devils and he ran over, I think it was Blackwood, right? That was Blackwood. And in this one, getting pushed by Dumoulin into Casey DeSmith, not scoring the goal, but the rebound going right to Hedl and Hedl scoring into an open net.
Yeah.
I don't understand why there's such a disconnect from what you're telling the players is a legal good goal, and then in the playoffs you just automatically just change shit because you feel like it.
Well, you're
it-
assuming there's consistency.
There's a lot of
in
there's a little
any.
anger. There's a little anger in there. So
Is it possible they got the call wrong during the Devils game and the call right during this game?
there was
I think they
nothing-
got the
there
call
was
wrong
nothing-
during the Devils game, personally. I
Right.
think that should have been disallowed.
I think we were recording that night, and I think we did have a discussion on it, and I think we all agreed that that should not have been a goal.
I do think we all
did.
agreed, yeah.
That's,
I think-
it just goes to show that the consistency is not there. The refs are just, regardless of
So wait, I'm sorry.
playoffs or regular season.
You're
it just
saying
doesn't-
we were recording the night of this game,
No,
Well,
we recorded the night
we
of the
were-
double game.
and we all agreed that should not have been a goal.
Correct.
And you think this should be a goal?
Absolutely. If that's a goal, this is a goal.
So
Because
no.
Kako
No.
was
No.
the only
Wait.
one pushing the
Whoa.
Casey
No,
Smith.
I'm asking you your opinion.
My opinion is the Kako goal should not have been allowed for this one simple reason. He was unprovoked and made contact with Blackwood, and that forced Blackwood not be able to play the puck. In this instance, in the playoffs against Dumoulin, he was pushed into Casey DeSmith by the defending player. What's Kako to do? What is he to do?
Okay.
That is my argument here.
So these, they don't equal each other though. So you can't say, how can you call it different in the playoffs than you did in the regular season? Because it's not the same situation.
Well, if you're telling the guy with the puck who's going to the net that he's allowed to make contact with the goaltender unprovoked, then I don't understand how more players weren't running more goalies this year. I don't understand that. But we have been saying the entire theme of this podcast for this season is how terribly inconsistent
Oh,
the refs
doubt.
have been all season long. So you know what? This should be no fucking surprise to us that this was a disallowed goal in the playoffs. And it's not just because it's fucking Sidney Crosby and the Penguins. Jesus Christ, I'm so tired of hearing that bullshit already. But listen, after this overtime, 3 overtimes, the Rangers had ample opportunities to put the puck in behind Casey DeSmith and fucking Louis Domingue. They didn't do it. And this is what happened. You lose in triple overtime. And now you lose both games in Pittsburgh. And now you're behind the 8 ball. Now you're stuck in a 3-1 hole. And unless you're fucking killing Marty St. Louis' mom again, there's no way
Jesus,
the fucking
wow.
Rangers are coming back in this hole. There's
Yikes.
just not a fucking chance in hell that this is going to happen.
He went there, folks.
Yeah. Oof.
That's one of the they had something to get behind a player and rally behind.
That's
This
friend of the
team-
show, Marty St. Louis, by the way. Friend of the
This
show.
team has nothing to rally behind right now. You look at teams, and I just brought this up with Tony D'Angelo. Carolina was getting their fucking doors blown out in Boston. What did D'Angelo do? He changed the whole complexion of the series because he put a target on his back for his team. And he came out tonight and he scored a power play goal to make it 2-0. And Carolina's still up 3-0 in that game.
4-0.
4-0. Great. 4-0. Kind of changed the whole complexity
Well-
going back to Carolina.
Now let me ask you a question. You guys traded for all these guys. You signed these guys that are hard to play against. Shouldn't they go out there and do something?
They have not been hard to play against.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that too, Bill.
Well.
100%. The
And
great
Gallant
thing-
called him soft too. I mean, he made it a point to call him soft in his press conference after game 4.
the Rangers were a completely different team after the trade deadline because they had more balanced attack. It's not because they were harder to play against. It's because they had a more balanced attack and their defense was playing great. And they had a fucking all-world goalie who has completely fucking disappeared in the playoffs. But it's Shesterkin being a regular goaltender and not a superstar goaltender in this series. But it's also having to do with the Rangers defense actually not playing fucking defense. In game 1, Gensel was left wide open on his first goal, and Trouba is high in the slot, almost covering the point man on the defense. How the fuck is he all the way at the point covering that guy and leaving Gensel wide open on a backdoor play? Second Gensel goal, Crosby comes across the middle. Fox just absolutely leaves Gensel, and Gensel gets behind the defense and just completely undresses Shesterkin. It has not only been about Shesterkin in this series, it's been about the defense. The Rangers had the second best goals against in the league, and then all of a sudden against Pittsburgh just decide to not fucking play defense at all. This is a tough nut to crack because I really hope this is just the teams, the really good teams who get the opportunity to play in the playoffs and just get completely shelled in their first experience as a group in the playoffs, like Tampa, like, the Rangers in 2005, like, you go back to, I don't want to compare them to Edmonton or Tampa or even that Ranger team because they're completely different. But you want to lose. If you're going to lose first, I guess this is what we're going through right now is we lose first and then it's going to be nothing but wins after this. That would be fucking wonderful. But this is tough to accept. Really, really tough to accept after, the first 2 games. Okay, the Penguins came back in period 2 and game 1 and scored a couple of goals. You knew they were going to. The Rangers completely dominated game 2. But to go out to Pittsburgh and get your asses handed to you the way you did, show some fucking backbone, guys. Now show some fucking backbone in game 5 tomorrow night and at least put on a good fucking effort and not be soft. Come out like you did in game 1 in period 1 against the Penguins and you'll have no problems coming back in this series. But I just don't see that happening. Bill, what do you think?
Well, going back to game 1 again, and I'll give my perspective on the infamous disallowed goal. I think more is being made, and I don't mean just you, Tom, but I've heard from a lot of Ranger fans, a lot more is being made of the so-called Dumoulin shoving Kakko into to Smith. I mean, that's the game they play. They go hard to the net. Contact's going to happen. I mean, we've all played this game. Contact's going to happen when you're going hard to the net. Kakko was going hard to the net. He wasn't, trying to avoid DeSmith. Maybe he did have it in the back of his mind that that they let him do it once. I don't know, but it is inconsistent. Nobody's arguing that the referees are not just trash and ridiculous, but I do believe that there's been a lot of instances of that incidental contact where clearly the defense had part of was a part of that contact and a part of the reason why it happened, and they will disallow those goals. They're not doing it consistently, but there's been a lot of instances of them doing it too. And yeah, my perspective on that, whoever, once the play happened, whoever the call went against, their fan base, the team was just going to be pissed. I mean, there was no two ways about it. If that went against the Penguins, and they're going, our goalie got taken clear out of the net, and if the shoe was on the other foot completely, if that was Shesterkin getting knocked out of the net, Ranger fans would be just as pissed as they were that the goal was disallowed. So
You're right, because it would have been a good goal.
Only if it was Crosby.
Right. From a Penguin fan perspective, going into the series, I had zero expectations for the series. The Penguins didn't finish strong. The Rangers did. They faced each other head to head in some key matchups which started when they were close in the standings, and they still seem to have something to play for. And the Penguins just got obliterated. Like it was not real competitive.
I don't know,
you know,
man. I thought that first game, that 1-0 game, was going to be more indicative of what we were going to see in this series, not what we're seeing right now.
Well, yeah, and I thought that just the Rangers defense was not going to just disappear like it has. So, I mean, look, I think, you know, when you're a fan of a team and you see them go into the playoffs, there's always a tendency, for obvious reasons, to kind of look at it through your team's eyes, the team that you're rooting for. You kind of go, you know, when you win something, you go, oh yeah, we did this and that. And when you lose something, you go, we failed at this and that. And it's, you know, sometimes you got to say, no, you know, this other team just imposed their will on us and really took the series. Well, I'm here to tell you, as a Penguins fan, this series is all about the Rangers' failure to play defense, to do that. There's nothing that Pittsburgh threw at the Rangers that the Rangers haven't seen before. They have no other level that they're hitting in the playoffs now that the playoffs are here. The Penguins are what the Penguins are, and the Rangers handled it before and are not handling it now. And I don't know if it's like if they got out of their game mentally because of the pressure of the playoffs and just I don't think it's that they don't care. I think that they're out of their rhythm. They're out of their game because maybe they're trying too hard or something. I think Shesterkin is fighting the puck a little bit. I think, you know, and it's not all on him. It is that Rangers defense has been awful around him. But Shesterkin, like when he's on his game, you know, he's not moving all over the place. So, you know, the movements are very subtle and the puck's just finding him. He's overplaying things. And I think, you know, as he's going, you know, I think a similar thing's happening with the Rangers defense.
Well, hold on before you go any further. If you think Igor is bad in this series, here are Lundqvist's stats in his first playoff series. That's that 05-06 series against the Devils. Lundqvist played 3 games in that series. He was 0-3 with an .835 save percentage, a .440 goals against average, and he gave up 13 goals in 3 games. I mean, listen, Igor hasn't been good, but in the 4 games he played, he's 1-2. Fucking Georgie got fucking the loss.
Choosing T-Mobile is like paying for this.
What the hell is going on?
And so much more. Like
I had something queued up for later on. Sorry about that. Igor, Georgie took the loss in game 3, which was really unfair to that guy. He has a .905 save percentage thanks to game 1, a 4.26 goals against, and he's given up 16 goals in the 4 games that he's been in there. So, look, say the numbers are bad for Igor, they were worse for Henrik when he had his first playoff series. So, hopefully, it's just a little blip in the future. But I really, really hope this is not indicative of what Igor is in the playoffs.
Can I just interject here a little bit?
You may.
If the Rangers don't show me something in the next game, it doesn't bode well for them.
Thanks, Steve.
It's an excellent
Good insight.
Wow.
It's elimination.
Where have you been holding that insight all year? Holy shit. Wow. I mean, listen.
You know how good players rise to their game?
I love it. I love it.
You know how good players step up their game in the playoffs? That's what I'm doing right now.
It's unbelievable. Wow.
I ain't gonna call you Shesterkin. Look at Shesterkin, you know, after that game 1, that overtime where it took heaven and earth to finally beat that fucking guy. I thought even with the Penguins winning that game, I thought they were in for a short series. I thought they would get swept or go out in 5, but you know.
Yeah, and the comeback in game 2 and win 5-2, and
yeah,
he played really well in that game.
Yeah, and the Penguins having to go to Louis Domingue, who, you know, played like 1 game all season. Maybe he played a second in the final couple of games. I can't even remember when he was backing up to Smith when Starry went down. He played very sparingly at the NHL level this season. And besides being, I mean, he's cute as a button. I mean, have you guys seen Domingue? He's gorgeous.
I know he likes spicy pork, right? He loves the spicy pork.
Spicy pork and broccoli.
If I have to hear that fucking story again.
Yeah, I mean, he's been solid, but you know, it's really just been more about the Rangers. Just all sorts of failure on their end. I just don't know what happened to their game. I'm baffled. But I will say, I think the Rangers, I still think the Rangers, when you look at their four lines, when you look at them on paper, when you look at them in the net, when you look at their special teams and et cetera and so forth, I don't think there's any question they're the better team in this series. And they were lost last game, but tomorrow's a new game. If they get their game going, they can win 3 in a row. I thought they would sweep this series.
That was tough to watch last night. That was really
it was awful. But
I mean, for you,
actually reminded me a lot of Devils games this year.
It couldn't have been that bad. It couldn't. That couldn't.
It was
what the Devils were like all year.
It was.
No way. That was the worst game I watched all year.
How much do you think of this is kind of the age of the core players at this point too, and the amount of experience they have in the playoffs? Because you got a bunch of guys there that haven't been this far. Shesterkin's definitely not seeing the pressure, that he's going through. Lafreniere and Kako, and you can go through the whole list.
Now, look, Trouba said it best today, right? It's so we don't have playoff experience, but we've been watching fucking hockey forever, and we know what to expect. We've all played big games before in high school and college and and all that.
No,
but no, man,
not at all. No, completely different level.
How many years did
I don't know? I've never played in the NHL playoffs, so I don't know. I don't.
Well, I did once, and let me tell you what my
experience was like. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're on fire tonight. Holy!
I think Billy was right when he said it about Shesterkin, that he's complicating things. He's moving around too much, and I think that's what the Penguins players know from their years of experience is when you get in these spots, slow the game down in your mind, make the simple, correct play. Don't overthink things. Don't overhandle the puck. Don't pass the puck when you're in the high slot. Take the shot, make the goalie make the save.
I mean, the Rangers, they're failing to, do simple things like getting pressured in the neutral zone. Dump the fucking puck and go retrieve it. Don't make a stupid play out there and let it just go the other way. There's basic stuff they're not doing, and that's why I think if they just kind of simplify things, going into the next game, they can get their game back. I mean, they were a good team just a few days ago, for God's sakes.
I do think it's a little too late, but as long as they show something tomorrow night, at least they show some backbone tomorrow night, I think we'll be at least a little happy going into the offseason, because I think the Rangers season's over tomorrow night. Unfortunately. No, but look, in game 3, the Penguins go up 4-1 in that game, and you battle and you come all the way fucking back, and as a backup goaltender, sure, I get Georgie lets in a few soft ones every now and again, but that Heinen goal was just about as soft can be, to let in a 5-4 goal at that point after your team has come all the way back. I'm not putting the blame on him. I'm just pointing out that goal is really fucking soft. You come all the way fucking back in that game just to get scored on like that, and that game ends the way it does. 2 empty nets after that. That was a tough pill to swallow. But you should never have been in that position in the first place. Throughout all these games, like Bill said,
starving. We got any pills around here?
They are the better team. They just haven't shown up yet, and I don't think they're going to show up. And that's a big fucking problem.
But also, when you think about the margin of okay, they got their ass handed to them last night, sure, but to your point though, they had the one win, and then one game goes to triple overtime. One game they come all the way back and it's tied in the third period. I mean, they're so close to being 2-2 or up 3-1 in this series. It's just a break here and there.
But you don't think with all the Penguins experience and everything they got behind them right now, you still think the Rangers can win 3 in a row?
I do. I know it's a much different team, but I've seen basically this core lose to the Rangers,
3 straight games, right?
3 straight,
and it was 2 or 3 at
2014. In 2014,
no, even this year, the Penguins won the
first
that
too, yeah.
And then the Rangers rattled off the next three wins in a row. I mean,
look, if the Rangers don't really get their game straightened out, they're fucking done. I mean, I'm not denying it, but yeah, I mean, I just can't write them off yet, because I just think they're that much better. I just think they're that much better when they're playing at their best.
I do too, but I just don't know if they're going to play at their best in this game.
Yeah.
Look, it's a do or die game, right? So let's see who shows up. I know who's not going to be showing up to games next year for the Islanders, and that's their head coach. How's that for a transition?
Too soon.
Was their head coach.
Too soon.
I don't know,
it's right on time.
but this was out of left field for me, even as a Isles fan. So Trotz was fired. Not even a mutual thing, just fired straight out. This is a textbook Lou move, which unfortunately we're experiencing right now. And apparently Lou wanted a new voice in the locker room, and he says that he didn't consult the players. This is all his decision.
He usually does this with 10 games left in the season. Like that's his real plan.
Right.
Yeah. So is Lou going to go behind the bench himself, or is he going to bring in Larry Robinson?
We don't know. This is the $1 million question: is what's the plan here? Because this feels like a absolute just knee-jerk reaction. Now, the timing is interesting because this comes right on the heels of all the exit interviews with the players. So it's highly conceivable that there was some chatter and amongst a number of players that maybe the system was wearing on the team, maybe certain players really called it out or called out Trotz, or who knows. Very difficult to kind of say because, it's been a tight-knit group and they don't talk a lot about anything, negative about the team or players or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to see. However, some interesting things to think about is Barzal is going to be, I think he's got next year and the year after, and then I think he's RFA, if I remember correctly. I think he's 2 years, this year, next year, I believe. I'll double check really quick. But he's coming up on his deal. He's making $7 million right now. Okay, I'm sorry, it's next year. He's got 1 year left, and then he's an RFA. But he's if he's talked about wanting to stay on the island and the usual stuff. And after Tavares, debacle, there's no way they're going to let him do anything but sign long term. Hopefully not for too much. I don't think he's a max kind of guy, and it's hard to say how they're going to make all that work out with a lot of money tied up in all the forwards. But he is a guy that would do better in a less defensive minded offense. And there's been a lot of difficulties with Wallstrom and Kiefer Bellows trying to break out, and they're more offensive minded guys. And while they've been learning the defensive stuff, it's not inconceivable to say that Trotz was really pushing them out before guys like Zach Parise and Josh Bailey, for guys that were like not scoring much or doing they're impact players on the ice, but not really, but limited offensively, which is clearly a problem for us. And I don't know, it's really gonna be interesting. And so anyway, that's all it said. It's gonna leave a big gap for a few things. One, not only is the coach out, but we have two assistants, all the assistants are still in place. Now, Mitch Korn.
No. That came out today. I thought that the assistants were gone.
Not yet.
The goalie coach. I heard the goalie coach was out.
So Mitch Korn is not. It's rumored he's going to leave. He's got another year in his deal. They haven't released any of the assistants.
Okay.
So Korn though is he's a Trotz guy. And that's a big loss if he leaves, because he's a phenomenal goalie coach, and everywhere he's gone, the goalies have been fucking excellent. So that's not great. Now, it's talk that they could potentially give Lambert, Lane Lambert the spot, but he's a Trotz guy, and he's basically Trotz Jr. in the sense of like coaching tree kind of thing.
Same philosophy. And
so, I mean, it could be a different voice, but like how much different is it, and what are you really giving up there? So it feels like they're all going to be gone. It feels like they're going to hire all new coaches. I don't see this whole thing just going over well. It's very strange. I feel like this is going to probably blindside a bunch of the players. Maybe some of them not. Maybe it's split. Who knows? It's really hard to say. But here's the deal. Trotz turn the team in 1 year from the worst defensive team in the league to the best defensive team in the league. Made the playoffs three years out of 4. This should be the exception with COVID and all the craziness. The schedule, we've talked about it a million times, and they still ended up, trying to push at the very end, even though there was nothing they could do. Anyway, and then in those 3 years, they won a playoff series the first year with Tavares leaving. So first year, no Tavares, big, and they turn around. And 2 years after that, you have conference final appearances, 1 goal away from potentially getting to the Stanley Cup Finals. Well, I guess 2, but lose by 1. So in Game 7, I mean, that's a pretty good fucking, alone. That's a lot, and the stability of having a real, good coach for the first time in years. A lot of pieces there that were like brought the stability, and that's all gone. So it's going to be hard to say what's going to happen the next week. I don't know if they're going to even name a coach for a bit. They don't have any real rush to do so. And then we might be waiting a while for this to happen because they might be waiting to see who becomes available.
Are there rumors out there?
Not really much, because it kind of came so quick, and the season's not over. So, not everyone's gone. Not everyone's like available. And, usually this kind of happens near like the end of, at the end of the season, I guess, or anyway, I don't know. I haven't had to go through this in a long time, to be completely honest. We had a lot of very few coaches in the last 10 years on the island. So, it's kind of weird. But I'm not sure. I feel like if they're going to do anything different, they're going to probably it would make sense that they go for a coach that is maybe a player's coach, maybe less of a hard ass on the guys, and less, put it this way,
Like a Babcock.
Yeah, that's perfect. Or Torts. But no, the thing is, the team plays a certain way, right? And the best thing I read about the reasoning for this was that it's a system that it requires like a very intense amount of like focus for every single game, because you can't make one mistake. You make a mistake, it's you fuck it up, and the other team scores on you. So no, not Q. Get the fuck out of here.
No chance, bro.
Not a chance.
Why?
So
you don't think he's going to coach again?
No.
You are
I don't know.
fucking delusional. You are delusional. Both of you. Delusional.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So anyway, the best thing I'd heard was that about the system, and that it's very difficult. And then after a few years of this, a lot of times those kind of systems, they rotate. Jesus, that's loud.
Billy, someone's breaking into your house again.
So some people tend to like rotate out a couple guys just because they get burned out of the system, and maybe they bring the guys in, but potentially that's maybe the reason. Maybe it's the system. There wasn't as much buy-in this year because the last 2 years were really, really intense, and they bought in really well. And then this year, it wasn't. I'll be honest, watching the games. Sure, COVID and other things, but like the team just didn't look good. They looked out of sync. They didn't buy in as well. And on top of all that, when you win, it's a 1-goal game, and you can't make, like I said, you can't make any mistakes. We give up games. The typical game the Owls would win, we get 18 to 20 shots on net, win 2-1 or 3-2, and the other team gets 30, 36 shots on net. And now most of those shots are from the outside, almost all of them. However, we have no control of the puck almost the entire game. It's in our zone a lot because we play. It's a very passive, let the other team skate around and just don't let them inside the just let them scale around the puck around the perimeter. Don't let them come inside.
That was the Rangers under David Quinn, by the way.
Yeah, it's hard to watch sometimes because you feel anxious watching. That's the system, but you're like, after like 15 minutes of like, it's a 15-minute possession time for the Tampa Bay Lightning to 5 minutes, and then the score is, it's 0-0, and you're like, how did we get that period? The next period's like very much almost the same, but maybe we got a couple breakaways or like a 2-on-1 and we score a goal, and you might have a lead, and that's the whole game. But it's so intense to watch that it must be very hard to play. That's just my only. I thought that was the best thing I read about it, was maybe that's a perspective. And so I think there'll be some comments that'll come out, and hopefully we'll get some clarity. But I'm just hoping for some. I don't know. I'm just hoping they get a guy in that can keep that, maybe push the offense a little better. Maybe give all of those forwards who are paying a lot of money maybe some more freedom to score some goals and be more, free flowing, because that would be a little better to watch. But it's just concerning because I don't know how this is going to go.
You know who's good at that? Mark Recchi.
No, he's not. I thought Mark Recchi wasn't good at anything.
He's a good coach for you.
Well, hopefully they have something done by the draft. You would have to imagine that they would. Speaking of the draft, that little lottery was tonight, and by golly, the Devils fucking cheat again. How is it that the 3 times in the past 6 years the Devils cheat?
They didn't cheat all the way.
I mean, that's pretty damn close to all. Listen, they had to give it to Montreal this year. Didn't have a choice. They had to. Look, Montreal had an 18.5% chance at the number 1. The Devils had an 8.5% chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes. So the draft order from 16 down, the Sabres from the Golden Knights, I'm assuming, in the Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
The Canucks at 15, the Jets at number 14, the Icelanders at 13, the Blue Jackets at 12, Sharks 11, Ducks 10, Sabres at 9, their own pick. The Red Wings at 8, Senators at 7, the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Chicago Blackhawks in the Seth Jones deal at number 6. Fuck the Flyers at number 5.
Fuck the Flyers.
The Kraken at number 4. The Coyotes, the college team, at number 3. The aforementioned New Jersey Devils at number 2, and the Montreal Canadiens, numero uno. And the draft is in Montreal this year. It is fucking rigged.
The fix is in.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
I've been saying that about these lotteries since like they began, I think.
It's Crosby. I think it's the first time. I think I heard it's the first time since '85 that the host city has the number 1 pick.
Wow, who was it?
And I didn't even know they were doing drafts in 1985. I thought they were got into a conference room somewhere, and
I didn't know that they were doing Were they doing lottery back then? They were.
Yeah, apparently.
No, they weren't.
No, it wasn't a lottery back then. No.
No.
Well, it was sometime after. I mean, it was sometime after Lemieux, obviously, that they did the lottery.
I'm done with the lottery, by the way. There's got to be a better way than this fucking. Is anybody happy with the lottery?
The NHL is, because they get to keep pushing draft picks wherever they want to.
I mean, besides the Devils, right?
I'm
Phoenix
pretty happy.
Can't be happy. Phoenix has got to be pissed.
Oh no, yeah.
And that's exactly that's part of it. That's part of the whole thing, though, is that teams like Phoenix that the NHL hates, teams like Buffalo that the NHL hates, they don't get those really high picks. They get fucked over.
And the Red Wings.
Ottawa doesn't get
Buffalo
that really
did
high
pretty
pick.
well when they got Jack Eichel, I thought.
No, and
they have
the
3
they got,
first
right?
round picks.
They got Owen Power first overall.
Right, that was just
and
last
Darlene.
year,
Yeah,
or 2 years ago. That was last year. Owen Power.
Darlene, what, 3
Call,
years
Bill.
ago?
Good job, Billy.
I probably
Andre
meant Ottawa when I said-
Vasilevsky is the most underrated goalie, hands
Ooh,
down.
good save,
in the NHL.
Save, Steve.
So who are the Devils picking at number 2?
So there was
now.
a lot of talk from Fitzgerald at his press conference last week about the first round pick possibly being in play as a trade chip.
Not anymore.
I don't think I don't think you move from 6 to 2. I don't think you trade it now.
You could, but
I don't think so.
You think there's that big of a difference in despair? I mean, from a
From
player
6 to 2?
from getting a Kevin Fiala, who's going to come right in and
I think
solidify the lineup, to giving a lotto ticket.
it's way too much value to give up for just Fiala.
Okay.
Oh
Who
yeah.
else we'll give you one of the goalies.
I think they're going to I think they're going to hang on to the pick. They're going to take the big winger, whether he fits in quickly or not. I don't know, but that's what they need. They need that size. They need that power forward, go to the net player. So I definitely think they're going to hang on to the pick.
Well, it's going to be interesting when we find out in July. Is it going to be in July?
Yeah, I think early July.
Is that when the draft is going to be? Where the hell is it in here? When is the lottery?
The lottery was tonight.
No. When's the draft? July 7th and 8th in Montreal.
Can't wait. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the last time I have to be excited for a draft lottery for a long time.
Well, you said something about you're still excited because they get to hang on to the draft pick for next year. What was that all about?
They'll be eligible for number 1 next year, right?
Oh, because you can only win number one. You can only be the number 1 pick like two times in a 5-year period.
So what if they? So what if they
Okay.
got the number 1 pick now?
If they got the number 1 pick this year,
Yeah.
Downgraded.
then in the future, in the next 4 years, they would only be allowed to get it one more time. But since they got number 2, they can move up to number 2 no matter infinite any year.
Sure. Oh, I just thought there was something special about their draft pick
Nope.
next year.
Nothing special at all.
Oh, great.
Devils win the offseason again.
Again,
God damn
baby.
it.
This is just the beginning of it.
All right. We're out of foods to talk about, so we're going to another childhood favorite, because that's how all this started, right? Foods that you liked as a child. We're going to go now to cartoon characters. Doesn't necessarily have to be from your childhood, just a cartoon character, someone who drawn on paper.
I'm so happy that this is the final list thing we're ever going to be doing.
Oh, I
It
don't know.
is?
I don't know about. I don't think so. I think we got to do the actual
Cartoons.
next week.
That's next week, right?
Yeah.
Next week we got to do the actual cartoons. Actual cartoons. So Steve, you seem to be enthralled in your list. So why don't you start us off at number 5?
I'm not going to do my honorable mentions first.
I mean, knock yourself out. No, really, knock yourself out.
So number 1 honorable mention, Dante from the animated Clerks series.
Ooh, I
Because
like it.
how can you have a list and not have a Kevin Smith character on?
Very
Nice.
easily.
Number 2 honorable mention is the Bill from Schoolhouse Rocks.
Way to ace
Bill
yourself,
itself.
buddy. Good job, buddy.
And number 3 is Butthead from Beavis and Butthead.
Man, they're not even on my list.
Okay.
Oh man.
So should I jump into number 5 now, or should everybody do their honorable mention?
Honorables. Honorable mentions.
Go ahead, dumbass.
Beavis. So actually, my honorable mentions are Beavis and Butthead.
Come on.
Which one?
Beavis and Butthead are my honorable mentions. I had them as a pair, and I was like, you know what? Perfect for honorable mention. I think
You
that's
guys,
my
are the, you
favorite.
guys are the Lone Rangers, right?
All righty. Billy, what you got as your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions are Garfield the cat and Caillou and I'm kidding.
Caillou?
Oh,
What the
I'm
fuck?
kidding.
Caillou? Oh my god. Between your hoity-toity coffee last week and Caillou, I was about to disown you.
No, that was all a joke. My honorable mentions would be pretty much the cast of South Park, who didn't somehow make my list.
Oh man.
That's a good honorable mention.
Fucking Cartman, man. Holy
A lot of them.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
They're awesome, but not awesome enough.
I have a few honorable mentions. I'm sorry. Woody Woodpecker, the Pink Panther, Stewie Griffin, Grape Ape, Captain Caveman, Inspector Gadget, and Tom from Tom and Jerry, and Donald Duck, of course.
Of course, Tom from
Jesus.
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry was always a scumbag. Always got away with everything. All right, Steve, number 5.
Number 5 From the show G.I. Joe, we're going Snake Eyes.
Snake Eye.
Ooh,
All right.
to a guy who never spoke a word, just
That's right.
cool as shit.
Not Sergeant Slaughter, huh? Just Snake Eyes.
No, but Sergeant Slaughter, I don't know if you know this or not, he is a real American.
He's a real American hero.
Real American hero. That's right. Yep. That's the best song. I'll listen right now. Oh, I'm next. Number five. Homer Simpson from The Simpsons, voiced by Dan Castellaneta.
Whoa,
Wow.
Nick going deep.
Wow.
You know,
That's,
I want to
fucking
give another honorable
overachiever.
mention for Dan Castellaneta voicing the robot devil in Futurama. Amazing.
Oh,
job.
there you go.
Now that
There
you're
you
bringing
go.
him up, good God. Yeah.
By the way, I didn't mention that Beavis and Butthead because I got just distracted. Both of those two voiced by Mike Judge.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
That's a good one.
Billy, number 5.
My number 5. I'm going to jump right in with a controversial cartoon character. My number 5 is Mr. Pepe Le Pew.
Oh,
Pepe Le Pew, the
yeah.
stinky, misogynistic skunk. Totally should have been Me Too'd. I mean, absolutely comes on way too strong. Sexual harassing, almost raping skunk.
You didn't think that was going to be a controversial pick on this podcast, did you? I mean, I think we all assimilate.
Yeah, well, and it was a certain time, you know. But always very interesting that Pepe Le Pew talked nonstop in that gorgeous French accent, and all the female cats that had a stripe down their back never spoke a word. So very misogynistic, very very fun cartoon. You know, I kind of think that if Pepe didn't stink, I think he'd get all those. I think he'd get all those cats too. I think they'd want him. I think it was just the stink holding him back.
Oh,
Very charming.
Shelly.
Absolutely.
I quite enjoyed watching Pepe Le Pew. I agree. My number 5, the leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime. I wanted the Optimus Prime vehicle, and I got him when I made my communion.
Wow.
And how fucking long that was? That was 1985, probably 85.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I got Optimus Prime as my gift that year. And man, that was
What a toy. What a toy.
that was the best, man. You made the sound when you changed them back. Just the greatest. Optimus Prime.
Fantastic.
My number 4 from a Netflix cartoon show called Big Mouth. It's Maury Beverly. Now, if you haven't seen the Big Mouth cartoon,
And I haven't.
it's kind of inappropriate. It's about, you know, children going through puberty. And Maury Beverly, as he's drawn, if you can see here, is basically an upside down penis. And he's sort of like the bad devil on the lead character's shoulder. So if you have never checked out Big Mouth, I recommend it. Give it a couple episodes. Tell me what you think.
Where would I find this? Do you know where this streams?
Yeah, Netflix, Bill. Don't you fucking
Netflix?
listen?
Okay.
Jesus.
It's on Netflix.
Okay. My fault.
It's probably on your account, so let me just look at it.
Yeah. If you need your password, let me know. I can get it to you.
Gotcha.
My number 4 would be Wolverine from the X-Men animated series, voiced by Cal Dodd. Which may not be a big popular pick, but honestly, Wolverine was the coolest fucking X-Man in that show. And honestly, if that show wasn't on, there's a good chance we won't even have an MCU movies at all, because that was a big time exposure to like everybody on the X-Men, which then had the later on movies, and then those movies eventually spawned off, not really, but you know, the MCU came from, a different studio, but nevertheless, I don't think all that would have snowballed if it wasn't for that show bringing that to the
World
from the
would
comics.
be a better place if not for that cartoon. That's what you're telling me.
Oh, fantastic cartoon.
Stupid.
Yeah, my number 4, one of Tom's honorable mentions, is Stewie Griffin, the baby from Family Guy with the reverse Oedipus complex. Awesome character.
Yes, it is.
Voiced by Seth MacFarlane.
You
Genius.
guys are
It's just everybody.
overachievers. You know that?
Over what?
Overachievers. Giving
We're
the
right on target.
Yeah, really.
Right on target.
the actual people. My number 4, from Castle Grayskull, is He-Man.
Ooh.
Not She-Ra? He-Man?
Not She-Ra, but what bugged me about the He-Man
His
figurine-
haircut?
No.
Oh.
He was
Pete Rose.
is the sword. When you got the sword, it had that little plastic thing so it would stay on his hand, which I got, but I always cut that thing off because wasn't real. That wasn't part of He-Man's sword, so I had to cut it off. So He-Man is my number 4.
Wow. Authenticating his figures. That's
If
was more. I think this list was more about what toys Tom wanted to
no,
get.
not necessarily, because I got a couple that are coming up. But Billy, you remember the Mask figures?
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna do
Mask-
top 5 toys at some point. Yeah.
No question about that. So the Mask figures came with extensions part of their mask, so they would stay on their body and they wouldn't fall off.
Right.
Those motherfuckers always got cut off. So yes, my toys needed to be.
This podcast is never going to be 45 minutes ever. We're never going to do a 45-minute episode. Don't expect it ever if you're listening. Number 3 from the cartoon series Transformers, Soundwave.
Wow, Soundwave.
You get 2 Transformers in one.
His cassette tape turned into a bird.
Can't beat that.
What was the bird's name?
Polly?
No. It wasn't Polly.
I actually saw it because I was looking it up, but I don't remember it. Memorex?
No, Memorex.
Wait, you don't know? You're looking it up now? I
Verbatim?
thought you asked the question like you fucking knew, like you're all elitist.
I just wanted to know.
Elitist?
I forgot. I forgot.
By
to
the
be
way,
honest.
Soundwave was voiced by somebody who is pushing up daisies right now. That's all I got.
Oh, that's sad.
What there was a jukebox or a radio, a boom box on either side, right? One had a bird and the other one had a dog. Wasn't there a dog?
Yeah, it was a panther. But what the hell is the name of them?
Sorry, it wasn't a fucking dog.
I can see them in my mind, but I just can't remember the fucking names.
Christ, what is stat boy?
So you're not sure it wasn't Polly after all this?
Definitely not Power Polly.
Where are you on Memorex?
Verbatim? Maybe it was verbatim cassette?
Maxwell?
Verbatim. Ravage, Laserbeak. That was the 2.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have had that.
Yeah. Couldn't remember them. Ravage was the one I was like, I remember that one. All right. Is that me?
Yes, sir.
Number 3. One of I think one of the better or best cartoon villains growing up. The Joker from the Batman animated series, voiced by, can anybody answer this one?
Jack Nicklaus.
Steven? Mark Hamill.
Oh, damn it. I think I
Right.
actually did know
I
that
did
too.
know that. Mark Hamill, you're right.
I think he was the voice of Luke Skywalker.
So, a part-time
What?
job, just here and there.
What?
My number 3, I'm going back to Warner Brothers yet again, is Pinky.
Oh,
Oh,
And
Pinky.
the Brain.
oh.
Ah, Narf.
Nard.
That was about when I checked out. I think
What are we
Pinky and the
doing
Brain
tonight,
was when I
Frank?
checked out of cartoons.
Oh, come on. The Orson Welles brain guy? I mean, come on.
I don't.
Awesome.
Animaniacs is such a good show. So good.
We're going to do every night, Pinky. Try and take over the world. I think that might be our second Pinky in the Brain impression that we've had on this show. My number 3, there is no louder mouth without a filter Boston guy than Peter Griffin. Hands down, one of the funniest cartoon characters I have ever encountered in my entire life. Love him. See, and he's not a figurine. He wasn't part of a play set.
Okay, fair enough. Number 2, and my number 2 and my number 1 will show my age, I guess. Number 2, George Jetson.
Man.
Wow.
I didn't
Really?
have Judy or
Yeah.
Mrs. Jetson on my
George
list.
Jetson, just a oof of a man, just a doofus, lovable loser. Always personified me as a cartoon character.
And I believe he was born this year.
This is the year of the Jetsons? Is that
This
right?
is the year that George Jetson was born, I believe.
Wow. I ain't flying in no fucking car yet.
I think I got to fucking stat boy him.
I was like, I'll believe it. That sounds sure.
Checking on me.
Checking.
The show was said to be set 100 years in the future in the year 2062. According to
but when was George
Wikipedia,
born?
George Jetson's birthday was August 22nd, 2022.
Wow. That's fucking good.
Wow.
I don't even want to know how you do that.
8/22/22, baby. Mark your calendars. 8/22/22. We are doing a podcast that night.
Hell yeah.
No, that's turned hiatus.
But we'll come back
Wow.
for a special
Billy,
episode.
Billy, so far, stat of the year.
That's a Monday, by the way. That's a Monday.
We are altering. We will record that night. Well, we might be off. We might be in hiatus.
All right. My number 2, lead character from one of my most recent favorite shows in the last 10 years. That'd be BoJack Horseman, voiced by Will Arnett.
Who?
Will Arnett.
I know.
You
don't know BoJack Horseman?
No.
BoJack Horseman, Netflix show. It's a
But
fantastic
what's it on?
dark
Where do you
comedy.
stream it?
Netflix. Netflix. A fantastic dark comedy show that really dives into depression and a bunch of other bad things, but it's a incredibly funny show, and it's a great complex character.
Was that always a Netflix thing, or did that start somewhere else?
Always
Okay.
Netflix. Just wrapped up 2 years ago.
Still blown away by the whole fucking George Jetson thing, by the way. So
Tough to top that. Not gonna lie.
My number 2 character is Bender Rodriguez from Futurama, or I guess as he has to be known on this podcast, Bender the Jet Rodriguez.
Bender.
The
Futurama was just-
foul-mouthed drinking robot.
just one thing I never got into was Futurama. Maybe I will. I'll start watching it. My number 2 is a foul-mouthed duck named Daffy. Daffy Duck.
Do we get an impression or no?
I don't want to steal Nick's thunder. Are you kidding me?
I want an
Yours.
impression. I want an impression.
I only do bad impressions, man. Come on, you do a good
come on.
impression of Daffy.
Give the crowd what they want.
Shoot him now. Shoot him now.
Since I am the first to go, I have the honor of saying my number 1 first. And I also have the honor of saying, boys and girls, this is not debatable.
Oh,
It's Fred Flintstone.
Yabba dabba
Yikes.
do.
All right. Fred, so I'm interested. What's even good about the Flintstones?
I mean, your feet are very similar, and
It
body
was good.
stature.
I
I mean, all that.
grew up watching reruns of The Honeymooners going to bed. And the
greatest thing to
cartoon-
watch on
Good
TV.
night.
And Flintstones was exactly the same show.
Just
Essentially,
cartoon
right.
version.
I agree.
I liked Pebbles.
Bam Bam.
Of course.
Come on, Wilma, the
No.
redhead. Are you kidding me? Come on with the pearl
That's
necklace.
that's the debate. Betty or Wilma? That's the debate, though, right?
No, there's no debate.
No,
There's no debate.
it's Wilma.
It's Wilma all the way.
Oh yeah,
100%.
the redhead with that. Oh my god.
All right.
All right. My number one was the one I figured somebody would have on their list. And that would be the leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime, voiced by the immortal Peter Cullen.
Yeah, I was
Stan-
gonna say
Stan
that
Lee?
at number 5. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Now, unlike Tom, I never got the Transformers toy, the Optimus Prime. I had friends that had it, and I fucking was like, "This is the coolest thing ever." And it was honestly the best of any of their toys.
Was that the
They
toy
had-
that you've always wanted that you never got? Was it Optimus
Uh,
Prime? We covered
Optimus
this
is up
already.
there. No, Voltron. Voltron was. I never got a real big I got like pieces. I went to like my mom bought me the CVS, and they had like you could buy like a pack of like 2 of the lions, which was kind of shitty. So I had those, but like the
What did
Voltron then was
arms-
big. Yeah, it was like the 2 arms or something, or the legs. I don't know. I would just like pretend it was the like.
He would
full
just
thing.
hold them in place where they should be
Yeah,
on the big
Yeah.
Voltron and just
yeah.
Just hunking midge or pidge.
Well, what colors were they? Because then we could tell if they were legs or arms.
I'm pretty sure it was red and
Arms.
blue, I guess, or green. Red
Oh,
and green. Red and green.
Red and green
those
are
are
arms.
Yellow
arms.
and blue with the legs. I think it was
Yeah.
red and green. Yeah. But Optimus is the coolest. The best toy, the coolest fucking voice, the best fucking. Growing up, I was a big Transformers fan, and that
Best
was
voice.
my show.
No doubt. Best voice. I agree.
Okay, my number 1 and the second on my list that was voiced by Mel Blanc is Bugs Bunny. What else can I
What's
say?
up, Doc? What's up, Doc?
My number 1. And it's now not debatable. Now it's not debatable. Because multiple people have this as number 1. I mean, it's Bugs Bunny. I mean, there is no other cartoon character other than Bugs Bunny that should be on number 1 on anybody's list in our generation.
Yeah,
Except
man.
for Fred Flintstone.
It's shocking to me that Bugs Bunny is not number 1 on your list, Steve. I mean, maybe you're just because you're the oldest.
Fred Flintstone. I had to go with the oldest.
Right. So you're going back to the 50s.
I had to go back
and
to the Stone Age
honeymooners.
to pick mine.
Right. There it
Yeah.
is. I got it. There was nobody more sarcastic, nobody who was more of a smartass than Bugs Bunny. And that's where I really learned it from. That's where I honed my skills from.
Shout out though to the bird that was the record player on the Flintstones. I dug that a lot.
And Barney Rubble, man. I mean, Barney was,
Solid man.
he talked to Lane Meyer and Better Off Dead. He wanted to date his ex-girlfriend. All right, so those are our top 5 cartoon characters. Oh,
Such a great way to wrap up the list segment.
You will
put it to
all be on
bed
the edge of your
forever.
seats for next week when we have our top 5 cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Not characters, but cartoons. Now, you could have repeating, right? Bugs Bunny was his own cartoon.
I've got my
It
list
wasn't-
already if we want to just jump right into it.
It wasn't Warner Brothers. It's just that.
Was it called Bugs? I thought it was called Warner Brothers. Wasn't it?
But
What was the
it's
show name?
actually it's Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there was
yeah.
specific episodes to Elmer, to Daffy.
Those were at the-
to-
the best was just Looney Tunes because you got the variety. Like
Right,
I
it was
didn't
just
like
like shorter
bugs.
episodes, and it was different,
No,
right?
it was. They were all the
Yeah.
same length. I mean, you could find
No,
one,
but-
you got the come here, boy. You about as smart as a sack of wet mice. But no, they were all the same length.
Were you just doing the impression of the guy that owned the bicycle shop?
No, that's not even a cartoon.
Oh, right, that wasn't a cartoon.
Oh, top 5 very special episodes.
Top 5 sitcoms. Oh boy,
Well, listen.
future episode. Stay tuned.
We got cartoons, and then the following that we got toys. So we're set for the next 2 weeks at least.
Oh, sick.
And then sitcoms.
Oh my.
All right.
We can do-
Okay, so we got. Are you like shows like non-cartoons, like actual shows?
Yeah,
How are you
we
gonna-
went
Sitcom,
by
yes.
sitcoms. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But
I
that's
feel like that's
but
gonna
next
be-
week is cartoons, then toys, then sitcoms, then dramas, then
Okay.
dramedies.
That's the important part. Are we combining like drama
No,
and comedy?
half hour. A
Okay.
sitcom is a half hour.
Yeah, but they could be a serious show.
Then it's not a sitcom. Sitcom stands
Alright,
for
alright.
situation comedy.
And
I
then we'll
see.
eventually get to
right.
afternoon news programs,
Soap operas,
talk shows.
late night talk.
But
shows.
that's way off in the future, people.
late
You're
night
gonna want
talk
to
show
stay. You're gonna
hosts.
want to keep
There's
listening
only
because you're
it's a
not
very
gonna want to
short
miss
list,
those
man.
episodes.
there's only one right answer for late night show.
Dude,
Are you late or late? How would you do it?
I don't, Nick. I was mostly kidding. I don't know.
A little too literal sometimes. Sorry.
We can discuss that for sure.
no, we don't have
All
to.
right.
We're good. And now it's time for trivia with Bill. Ugh.
Now this is the wrong bell.
Thank you. All right. So this week we are on question 71 for episode 71. All right. How many shorthanded goals did the Nashville Predators allow in 2013-14? I mean,
Not
God,
as many
wow.
as the New Jersey Devils did this past year.
And how many was that?
I think it was 13.
This is either astronomically a lot or ridiculously little. Because why
Well,
else
it's
would
gotta
they
be.
put this fucking question in there?
Really?
It's gotta be like, but even like a very small amount is nothing special.
Well,
Okay.
to let up. I
One.
mean, what's the average?
The Devils gave
it's
up
not one.
11 shorthanded goals this past season.
Can't be high.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot. It's not 11.
All right.
I'm thinking it's somewhere in between those.
You
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's
Do you want me to confirm?
No.
between 6 and 9, maybe?
69. No, Nick, 2 episodes ago was our sexy
Ah.
episode, Nick.
All right.
That's hot. missed
I'm
those
going
days.
listen to me. I'm going to say 12.
Incorrect.
I don't know, Bob. I think that number is going to be a lot lower. I'm going to go lower than 12, Bob. I'm going to say 8.
Incorrect.
Jesus Christ, this fucking car.
That was one of the multiple choice questions. That was one of the multiple choice
Ooh.
answers. And
I'm gonna go 10.
incorrect.
All right, I'm going extreme. 0. They didn't give one up.
Boom. Tom hit it. Tom
Yeah.
nailed it.
Dude, we all knew that was going to be the answer. Why did you do that so early?
I wasn't really explaining. Yeah, I guess. Fuck. All right. Well, we let him off the hook this week.
I thought the point was to get the question right.
Well,
Is that
we
what I've
did.
been missing all this
We
time?
did, and I won! Yay!
Yeah, you did.
I broke Steve's record.
And now it's time for impressions with Nick.
Fucking great.
What the fuck?
All right.
That?
Everybody
What?
at home, get your pen and paper.
What
I
the
bet
hell was
your-
that?
I was motivated by the cartoon character conversation.
But what? Who were you impersonating?
The impressions with Nick guy.
Impression of
asshole.
yourself. As a dick. All right.
I got my pen and paper.
So for those of you at home, if you want to participate in this recording and
Oh, no.
test your knowledge of cartoon character catchphrases to stay on task with our theme tonight, then you are more than welcome to do so. So here's the deal. I got a bunch of these. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna do them and just continuously go through them.
You're such a nerd.
You try hit as many
train.
as you can. Now the key is I'm looking for the character.
How many total you got?
Right? 28.
Jesus
Oh shit!
Christ!
I'm gonna go through them. It's probably gonna take about a minute and a half, but you better fucking start writing. You can shorthand it. It's fine.
We're still gonna make
looking
it 45 minutes for the episode, right?
This will be longer than Tom's entire diatribe. Don't worry. Just go. All right. So again, just write the character name. I don't need the show. Nothing else. Character.
Here's how I want you to do it though. I want you to say number 1 in Nick voice, and then do the impression.
Okay, I'll do number 1 impression. 2. Impression.
I'm numbered. I'm ready to go.
Oh, he squeezed it in. You shoehorned
You
28
son of
in
a
there,
bitch.
buddy.
All right, boys. You ready to go?
No, but
Ready.
go ahead anyway.
Number 1. Meep. Number 2. Zoinks. Number 3. Good grief. Number 4. Ay caramba. Number 5. mmmKAY. Number 6. Victory's mine. Number 7. Worst episode ever.
Is that Steve?
Number 8. Hey there, pretty mama. Number 9. Let's get dangerous. Number 10. By the power of Grayskull.
I know that one.
Number 11. Here I come to save the day. Number 12. I sell propane and propane accessories.
Oh shit! I thought that was somebody else.
Number 13. You idiot. Number 14. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Number 15. Bite my shiny metal ass. Number 16. It stinks. Number 17. Giggity. Number 18. Cowabunga, dude.
Is that a repeat?
Nope.
So I thought too.
Yes, it is.
All right. Keep going.
No.
19.
Cowabunga, dude.
Right.
Let me just start that again. Cowabunga.
19.
19. Jinkies. Number 20. Wubba lubba dub dub. Number 21. Hey, everybody.
Goody.
Number 22. Arriba, arriba. 23. Right, 23? Yeah.
Yep.
So. Oh, bother. 24. Rut roll. 25. Thunder, thunder, Thundercats. Oh.
Wish my brain wasn't filled with bong resin.
26. Spoon.
Spoons?
No,
He made
he
the
was
list?
he was real.
Oh my God in heaven!
He
We
was
didn't even
real.
know him.
27. I am Cornelio. I need pee-pee for my bunghole. All right, and 28, finally. Hello, nurse.
It was one of them. Wasn't no.
There multiple answers are acceptable there.
That one you can
I think
either
I'll do
one
the
is
W,
fine.
Bill. You do the J.
I believe it's
That's
Capo
fine.
Caco.
Capo is correct. All right.
Listen, I'm just going to say this. This is going to be a serious segment, a serious point of the podcast here. Judging by the fact that I didn't know a lot of those, I have a feeling like I am entering into early stages of Alzheimer's disease. So I want you guys to know when this goes full-fledged, remind Tina that she's been told, put me in a facility and don't ever come visit me and just leave me there. Okay.
At early stages, I mean, you gave us this exact same speech 3 weeks ago.
Billy was last
Do you not
week.
remember?
Billy was last week. What's wrong with you?
Remind me.
So put me in the home now, then I guess.
No,
All
look,
right.
I didn't get a lot of them.
So can I go first? Can I go number one?
Well, why don't we just go through them and you just score them? Because this way it'll be faster.
Okay.
That's yeah.
All
right,
right.
so number one.
There wasn't a fucking what's up doc in there, too, by the way.
Me. Well, that one's easy. Like too easy.
Just go through the answers. You don't have to do the impression again.
All right,
We got a limited time.
Number one, Roadrunner.
Got it.
You guys get Roadrunner?
Got it.
Number two, Shaggy.
Got it.
Number three, shitty version of Charlie Brown.
Terrible.
Didn't do a good job yet.
I
Got it.
didn't get that. Billy, you got that?
Charlie Brown? Hell yeah, I got that.
Wow.
Good grief.
Number four, Bart Simpson.
Got it.
Got him.
Number five, Mr. Mackey.
You bet.
Which did you get that?
Oh, I got Mr. Mackey. Sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Jesus. All right. Number six, Stewie. Saw it from
Got it.
Family Guy.
Yep.
Number seven, comic book guy from The Simpsons.
See now,
Couldn't-
I put down
Give him a
Simpsons
name, right?
nerd. Is that acceptable?
Yeah,
I get
Acceptable.
it. That's good. That's good.
acceptable. It's
No,
I
fuck
honestly
you.
I typed in comic book guy and that was literally the name and I'm like
Yeah,
I
it was-
can't believe his name is actually comic book guy. Like that's a Google thing.
I
You know?
wouldn't have gave it to you.
Number 8, Johnny Bravo,
Ah,
which I
Didn't
figured
get
I
that.
none of
had
you got.
Elvis. Does that count?
no.
I mean, he's kind of based off of that a little bit, but no. Number 9, Darkwing Duck.
Oh,
No. I knew the
was
phrase,
struggling
but I
that
didn't
one.
get that one.
Number 10,
slam dunk.
He-Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I know number 11. It was Andy Kaufman.
No.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse.
What are you talking about?
Hell yeah.
You guys are too young. Google Andy Kaufman and you'll get the.
I
joke.
know who Andy Kaufman
Yeah, we
is.
get it, Steve. Thanks.
And I know that exact thing 'cause he does that in, his shtick. Anyway, I probably sounded more like Andy, didn't I?
I don't want to tell you what you sounded like.
Thanks, buddy. Number 12, I think, Hank Hill.
Yeah, I had King of the Hill. That counts, right?
Count it
All right,
because that's what I had.
All right.
Well, that's the
Give
name
it
of the
to you.
show. Okay, yeah.
Shut
that's-
up.
Did you get that one, William?
I got it.
As-
Yeah, Simpsons.
I got it properly. I got Hank Hill.
Good for you.
Billy's gonna Billy
Billy
gonna kill
win.
this one.
Billy's already winning.
Next one, Ren. Do you guys know Ren's last name?
Yes.
Stimpy. Isn't his last name Stimpy?
Bill, would you like to tell us?
I was saying yes because I got the answer right because I had a 50-50 chance. I didn't know if it was going to be Ren or Stimpy.
Ren
but I went Ren.
Hoek. Hoek.
He was born
Heavens-
2022. Okay, no, he wasn't. I was
All
reaching
right.
for my former glory. Okay, go ahead.
Next one, Pink Panther, which I don't know if you guys would get, but
Fuck.
I'm
Nah,
sure you
I
guys
didn't
would
get that one.
watch that one.
I did watch it, but I didn't get it.
You remember that one, right? That was a lie. That was a throwback right there. All right, this one definitely Billy got.
Oh hell yeah, I got that one. You want me to say
Bender.
it? Bender
Sorry.
Rodriguez.
Bender Rodriguez. Next one,
Jim Norton.
Billy.
Shit, I only have it as the critic. I guess since we're going with names of cartoons, then that's acceptable.
I don't think he had a name. I think it was just the critic. I don't remember his
Oh, okay.
actual name.
There you go.
I don't. Maybe it was a name. I don't even know honestly. It probably is, but
John
right.
Lovitz.
well, John Lovitz is the actual person doing the voice acting, but I forget the guy. I don't remember. I just wrote the critic. That's good enough.
Yep.
All right, next one, Quagmire.
It's
Tom was very say about that one. The next one, I think you guys all got mixed up because of my terrible profession, but
Yes.
Michelangelo from the Turtles. Cowabunga, dude.
Because
Now, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
Bart
even
Simpson
think
was
Bart
about.
Simpson again.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think about Cowabunga is something that Bart did say a lot, but so that was a
He
little
said
tricky.
cowabunga, dude.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said the dude part. I was like, oh shit.
this is where I started going on a losing streak.
Yeah, me too.
I started missing.
Okay.
I drew a blank 19
I
to 21.
missed 19 through 21. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, me
All right,
too.
so Jinkies, another Scooby-Doo crew member, Velma.
Dyke.
The Jinkies all the time. I thought you guys might get that one. That was like a Scooby-Doo era.
Anybody
but-
get that one?
All right. Next one, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. That would be a Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. But you guys may
Nobody
not watch the
watches Rick
show.
and Morty.
Not you guys, I guess, which is a mistake. You guys should watch it. It's very funny. Next one. Who got that one?
No one.
Didn't
You
get that
didn't,
one.
didn't get Dr. Nick from The Simpsons?
No.
Hey, everybody.
You know why? Because I never watched. I watched like 4 episodes of The Simpsons.
Really?
Really?
That's nutty. You know, that's actually Ben's current favorite show is The Simpsons.
I
I've
recognize the voice, but I couldn't place the character.
All right, next one. Arriba.
Speedy Gonzalez.
Be there.
Speedy. Thank you, sir. Next one. Winnie the Pooh. Oh bother.
I got Winnie. Deep in the 100-acre
All right.
wood.
Steven, next one. I would be disappointed if you didn't get.
The guy from Scooby Doo.
No, it's the
Oh, no, it was
fucking
Scooby- right, it
dog
was
from
Scooby-Doo,
Scooby Doo.
Right, it was Scooby Doo. Right.
Astro.
No, it was Astro. That's right. It
Astro.
was not even
Ah.
Scooby-Doo.
Come on.
It's a stupid list.
Disappointed.
It's a fucking terrible segment. I'm ready
All right.
next week.
Next one.
You know, you could have stopped at 10. You could have just done like the top 10.
Right
You
now,
could
we
have
gotta
done
go
the top
28.
15.
Oh,
You
come
could have done the
on.
top
Here we
20.
go. All right.
You could
All
have
right.
done the top 25.
My fucking segment. Shut up. Big head. All right. Next one. Did you get the name of the character?
Lionel.
That was why
Was it Bob Thundercat?
No, it was Lionel.
God damn it.
Lion-O.
I missed it then.
It was Lion-O.
Lion-O. Yeah, it's
I
not
always thought it was
Lion-O.
Lionel.
I know it's
He's not a
Lion-O.
singer.
I'm
not
taking
Richie.
He's a
credit.
model
I'm
train.
taking credit. Fuck you all.
Hello? Is it this Thundercat you're looking for?
All right. Spoon. Anybody?
The Tick.
A tick. William
The
got
Tick.
it. You got it. All right. You guys got the next one?
Beavis.
It was Beavis. And then the last one
Wacko?
is
Yakko.
Wacko and Wacko. Yakko and Wacko. But I'll take either one.
You take
Both
either one.
said
All
it.
right, good. I had Wacko.
Can
any of
anyone
them
beat
except for Doc.
9?
I can't beat Billy, so it doesn't matter.
What'd you get, Tom? Because Bill's gonna run away with this one.
It's a lot for Tom to count.
I had 13.
I got
All right.
20.
Oh, Bill killed it. Damn.
I love this.
Well done, sir. Well
This was the most fun I think I've ever had.
ever.
So Billy, I need to ask you a serious question here. Where you're the youngest of 3 children.
Yes.
Did your parents? I mean, did they just not love you? Did they not care about you?
Yes.
It's so much better when you psychoanalyze
your
somebody
mom.
else. Oh my God.
Your mom
this
is
so
probably
much
the
more
sweetest
fun.
person I have ever met in my entire life. Your father, I knew very, very, sparingly. But did they really? What did you do to them that they didn't like you so much that they made you just sit in front of the TV all the fucking time?
They left me completely alone. I had really not much to do.
It was a latchkey
besides-
kid.
But like my older brother and sister had rules, and by the time they got through with them, I had no rules. And
I think that's who it's
They were
more
out of the
on.
house
It's
all
on
the
the
time.
brother and sister who didn't give a shit about Bill, so they just left him in front of the TV instead of saying, hey, come hang out with us.
Madeline and Jim fucked you up, man. Oh. I mean, it's good for us. It makes for good content.
They
but
probably fought. No, you bring Fatty this time. I brought him last week. You got to hang out with Fatty.
Jeez.
I'm just putting him in front of the
Wow.
fucking TV, putting that on channel 5. He could watch whatever's on.
And then later on, he realized his pecker got hard, and then he could do with that.
Yeah.
So he found a new play toy instead of watching cartoons.
Well, there was, honorable mention to the Baroness from G.I. Joe because there was a little bit of both going on right there. I gotta admit.
Wow, you're.
And here I thought that comment was going to come out when we talked about Smurfette.
Listen, you and Steve are fascinating subjects. Fascinating.
You know who makes the greatest psychiatrist? The person who doesn't want to look at themselves in their own life.
Oh, no question about it. I am beyond fucked up. Beyond. Woo! All right, let's go to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
This one's going to bring us to the year of our Lord 2013. 2013. Now, listen, there's conflicting dates on this one. So it's a twofer. It's a twofer.
Boy.
So please go to January 17th, 2013. Nick, are you okay? You good?
Good.
All right.
Go.
January the 17th in the year 2013 was a Thursday.
Ooh, hello.
I had a Reese's peanut butter cup and a can of Coca-Cola Classic for breakfast.
That's your fucking breakfast. One? Did you have one cup or is that?
No, like one package, 2 cups.
That is an awesome. I want to have that for breakfast tomorrow.
That was breakfast?
I had leftover hamburger helper for lunch.
What kind of hamburger helper was it?
Cheese steak.
Hot dog flavor?
Ooh.
And I take that back. That was dinner. So the Reese's peanut butter cup must have been breakfast, lunch, and the leftover hamburger helper was dinner.
Could you check the day before and see if you smoked a bunch of pot or something?
I also ellipticized that day and spent the morning down at Seaside Heights, where I was fortunate enough to photograph the roller coaster in the ocean, because that was after Hurricane Sandy.
Wow.
Goodness.
That's nutty.
Because
those photographs are available at the gift shop. You could pick them up on your way out, swing by. They're available in multiple sizes.
And pick up a pamphlet about domestic violence. Also go to January 18th, the next day.
January 18th, the next day, which was, of course, a Friday.
Oh.
Lunch was a roast chicken sandwich. So roasted chicken, pepperoni, mayo sandwich with a Coca-Cola on the side. Dinner was at the Fireside Grill, where I enjoyed some appetizers and a delicious bacon cheeseburger and French fries.
Still trying to figure out your chicken sandwich with the pepperoni and mayo.
What's there to figure out? You take roasted chicken, you cut it off the chicken.
I get all that. I just
you put some pepperoni on it. You throw it in a microwave for 40 seconds. Put it on a bun that's got mayo on it, and you fucking eat it. It's not that complex.
I mean, well.
What's the controversy? I need to know what the controversy is. Why the 17th or the 18th?
Because it's debatable on which day this aired, because it says in an interview with Oprah that aired on January 17th and 18th. Like that's all I got.
Probably a 2-day interview.
Lance Armstrong admitted to cheating in the Olympics.
Interesting. So yes, it was probably a 2-day interview. The admission probably came on the Friday.
I mean, I'm sure there was a cliffhanger, right?
Ironically enough, the 19th, which was Saturday,
thanks,
was the first game of the NHL season that year because of the lockout.
Thanks, Gary Bettman.
About that. Thanks, Gary Bettman. Tool. Goddamn tool.
How do you not comprehend how to make a sandwich?
No, I just don't know if those things go together in my brain.
Oh God!
Like I wouldn't think about putting pepperoni and mayo together.
Oh,
Pepperoni is more like
you have to do that.
Well, I'm gonna have to now. Yes.
Turkey breast
Go ahead.
or chicken breast,
Yeah.
pepperoni and mayo.
But you're saying
cheese. If you got cheese always helps.
Yeah, cheese helps regardless at any time. I mean, you got to put it in the microwave. I mean, is that an absolute necessity, or can
it's highly recommended. Yeah, it's a much better warm sandwich than a cold sandwich.
All right. I will check that out and let you know. I will let you know.
Have you ever had like a ham, cheese, and pepperoni from Tasty ever?
I've had ham and Swiss.
I don't know if I've ever done ham and pepperoni.
Not pepperoni.
Pretty sure it's a ham, pepperoni, and cheese sandwich.
They do that. They do a capicola, right? That's like a spicy meat.
Yeah, they got the different options. You could just go super sub.
Bill?
Yeah.
Bill, comment?
I'll have anything on anything. As we've kind of covered, I'm a fat ass who loves all this shit that you're talking about.
Bill is really upset, Tom, that you called him out on the whole psychoanalyzing.
Why?
I could tell you got to him.
Listen,
you heard him. I think.
Listen,
I'm gonna eat my feelings.
He's bleeding.
Listen, I'm trying to figure out my friend so I can better understand and be a better friend. That's all I'm trying to do.
You're trying to find weaknesses so you can exploit them.
What are you talking about? I do that. All right. That's gonna do it for us this week. I mean, it's only been 2 hours. So don't forget to go on Twitter and follow us at friends_rivals. Shit. Did anybody review us? I don't think they did.
Let us know what you think an ideal podcast length would be in the comments, please. And we'll make sure to triple it.
Listen, as long as the podcast is good like this one is, who cares how long it is? And you know what? I want more. Whoa.
Tom hit the mother load, apparently.
I think I don't know who this is. This is oh my goodness. This is we got a review, apparently. This is a 5-star review. I
love it.
On Sunday. A real listener, all one word. So maybe it's not so much a real listener.
Jesus Christ.
All right, maybe it's Nick. Nope. This is the best podcast about hockey. I love the friendly banter. See, that's what we're doing. We're doing some banter, guys.
Fuck you. Oh wait, I'm sorry, friendly.
But who in the HE double hockey sticks has ever said real men drink pink? We have, goddammit. My cholesterol went up listening to the food segment. Keep up the good work and long live Randy.
Yeah. No. It was Randy's wife that did this review of it.
It was Roberta.
This was, no doubt about it.
Rhonda.
Rhonda.
This was Rhonda's review.
What's the difference?
I don't know. If it was Rhonda's review, it'd sound a little more southern, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Well, can you
No.
Can you type in southern?
No, we're good.
I guess you can.
Of course you
type.
can.
We're good.
Why can't you?
Well,
Should we get Randy on the line to
no,
ask him about this?
No.
It's just been too long. We can't have that.
We're fine. Randy is asleep.
Oh man,
he's got chores to do in the morning.
Well, listen, we will get Randy on the program next week, and we'll have a discussion about it.
I forgot to tell you guys, I'm not around next Tuesday.
That's all right. We'll do it at you. So leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We will read them on air if you want us to. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals podcast. Billy, say something witty.
Hoboken? Ooh, I'm dying.
Oh, my friends and rivals. Flyers fuck off.